Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A reminder, we're going to do the Terminator review right now. But in 20 minutes, David Draymond from Disturbed will be on the show talking about the Kendrick Lamar Disturbed mashup that I made. Also, their new music. He's giving us the new song to play and tickets to their show at the Madhouse. So that's going to be at 8:20, about 20 minutes away. But we've got to do this now.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies. Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Let's get to it. Finally, The Terminator. Been requested ever since we started this whole thing over a year ago with Case's movie reviews of a 26-year-old guy that hasn't seen many big movies. Now he's seen the biggest ones and some that were passionate about us and to you, the listener. But The Terminator had to be done. And because of all the buildup of Case's fear of AI, legitimately so, in the last several months, he talks about it off the air all the time. We had to get to The Terminator, released October 26, 1984, with a budget of $6.4 million, and it made $78.3 million in the box office. I'm sure it's a billion-dollar revenue movie now, but at the box office, it's a pretty big take back in 1984. Also, The Terminator has an approval rating of 100%, based on 67 professional reviews on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, with an average rating of 8.8 out of 10. Great reviews. Everybody listening, I know, has seen The Terminator.
And before you play the trailer, because I know people are going to ask, next week at the same exact time is my T2 review. I have not seen that yet. I watched The Terminator last night. We're doing T2 next week. I know people are going to ask that. That'll be next week.
Well, also, hashtag no spoilers, because Case hasn't seen it yet.
You,
so don't be like, well, what about in the second one when blankety blank?
I had to make a big fight to not skip this movie. A lot of people, a lot of the noise out there was saying, he doesn't need to see the first movie, just watch T2. Well, you really needed to watch Terminator. We're going to find out what he thought of it. And here was the trailer back in 1984 for The Terminator.
They come from another time. A machine wrapped in flesh. A soldier from a distant war. Both after a woman who holds the key to the future. One wants to kill her. The other must protect her.
I'm here to help you. You've been targeted for termination.
The Terminator. Your future is in his hands. The Terminator. Rated R.
God, trailers were so much better back then. One wants to kill her. One wants to protect her. So good. So, Case, you watched The Terminator, 40-year-old movie now at this point. What did you think of The Terminator?
We're so effed. We are in so much trouble. Oh, my God. This did not quell any of my AI fears. This only made it worse. What are we doing? This movie lays out every potential issue that could occur with the technology that we've started to experiment with. And by the way, in case anybody doesn't remember, the idea of this movie is that the distant future in which the Terminator rises is in 2029.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
That's for reference, we already have a location set for the 2032 Olympics. We know that's going to be in Australia. 3 years before that is when the Terminator is supposed to rise up and take over the world.
So there probably won't be an Olympics in Australia. Heads up.
You better stop sending
robots from those countries represent.
Stop sending bottled water over there to get ready.
Oh, God.
Do you think Australia's like annoyed? Like, how rude. You clearly picked us to follow the end of the world intentionally.
I really had no basis of reference that it was 2029 in the movie. Wow,
yeah,
good point.
It's not like 2314. It's 2020. It's happening. We can see that's an election cycle away.
Yes.
This is a documentary. This is a step-by-step guide on what not to do, and yet we are still doing it. I don't understand why, because this movie, and credit to them, because a year ago I watched The Matrix, and I told you at the time, I said, I watched this movie, I couldn't tell you what it was about. I didn't understand the characters, I didn't understand the plot, I didn't understand the outfits, the sunglasses, the whole thing. I didn't understand what was happening. I will give credit to the Terminator. They lay out exactly how this happened, why it happened, and what's going to happen. and we have heeded no warning. We have just barreled ahead and are doing the same things that this movie told us not to do.
I have a feeling, Kenzie, we're not going to get to anything about the movie right now, just accept that it laid out that we're all dead, which is what Case's fear is.
Well, rightfully so.
It is weird that no one in the government has watched The Terminator.
It does seem like that, right?
Like, it's clearly what is exactly happening right now, like you said.
Can I say something? And I don't mean it offensively.
Oh, boy.
But I would say that the main gender that you see in office is male, and men are notorious for egos. Women are notorious for things too. This isn't because women are perfect and nothing would happen. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm not saying that.
Lay the plane, Kenzie.
Men, I think, have egos, and men see something and they're like, well, not if I made it, it wouldn't do that. And so I just feel like we have a bunch of guys like, they're like, not me. I'm smarter than Skynet, obviously. So
you know
this is what we're dealing with.
I'm going to agree with you 1,000%. I also think less women have seen The Terminator. So if they were in office, you could say, like, I'm going to give them a pass because they haven't seen it. But every dude I know has seen The Terminator and knows what's happening.
Oh, man. Well, I will say, look, this is a very good movie. I really like the first half hour, sort of everything leading up to the shootout at the Tech Noir nightclub, which, by the way, what I would do to be a fly on the wall at the Tech Noir nightclub in the mid-'80s.
Cool.
That club saw some things. Let's just say that.
I'm pretty sure there's a band called Tech Noir based from that movie, and that club was amazing. When she goes there to get pizza by herself after her roommate is, by the way, Kenzie, you may not remember this, her roommate's going to hook up with, who was Iceman's partner in Top Gun? The big guy.
This seems like something you would know.
I know. I can't remember his name.
I haven't seen Top Gun, so I can't help
I
you.
know.
I have Michael Bean or whatever. What is his name?
No, it's like Rick Rossingel, or his real name is. I don't know why I know his real name. I'm not trying to get sidetracked.
What about the roommate hooking up? What are we doing here?
Well, that's the guy she's hooking up with. Is his first movie and he was in Top Gun. The guy that does the volleyball scene with Val
Rick
Kilmer.
Rossovich?
Yeah, what's his name in Top Gun?
Oh my God.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, Case. So also he's in that. And you also get a 3-second cameo of Bill Paxton, I'm sure you're ready to get to later. But.
Well, I adore Bill Paxton. At some point, we'll do Paxton Month here where we watch all the Bill Paxton movies that I haven't seen.
Slider.
He was Slider in Top Gun. Go ahead, Case. Sorry.
Go ahead, Case.
Sorry, Case.
Thank you. All right.
I'm just here to answer questions.
Thank you, Secretary Kenzie.
Thank you.
The Tech Noir shootout and all that stuff is great because I guess I didn't really know the plot of this movie. Like, I knew Arnold was going to be the Terminator. I didn't know if the Terminator was going to be a good guy or a bad guy. And you're not really sure through the first half of the movie, or at least the first half hour of the movie, what his role is. And when they get into the shootout in the nightclub, and the Terminator gets shot, and then nothing happens, it's like, oh my God, we're in for a treat here. This is a movie that I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what was to come. That nightclub scene really sets the stage for what's to come. The problem with that scene, from a real life perspective, if we want to go back to my fears for a second, if you go back and watch that scene, human bodies are getting wasted in gunfire. You know why? Because AI robots don't care about human feelings, which is something that is discussed in one of the most pivotal scenes in the movie as they break down how we got here and what to expect from people like the Terminator.
A few years from now, all this whole place, everything, it's gone. Just gone.
We're survivors. Here. There. Nobody even knew who started it. It was the machine, Sarah.
I don't understand.
Defense network computers. New. Powerful. Hooked into everything.
Sounds
Trusted
familiar?
to run it all. They say it got smart. A new order of intelligence. Then it saw all people as a threat, not just the ones on the other side. Decided our fate in a microsecond. Extermination.
So when you go...
Case's face is so scared because it's so true.
So when you go out and buy a smart fridge that has an AI grocery list function and 4 years from now it beats you to death, remember this scene. This is we've all been warned. We've all been warned and we're doing nothing about it.
can I point out? So we just got a really interesting text. Okay, so Armando, the carpenter, said the creator of the movies said that she wrote this as the second coming of Christ, hence the JC. It was supposed to be Jesus Christ, like John Connor. And could you imagine? I'm sorry, that just like how interesting the new Bible would be when they talk about the ending of the world. Like right now, we were like, oh no, we'll put some animals on an ark. The new one would be like, so aliens get like these AI creatures. Talk about a New Testament. Good Lord.
Very much so.
So, extermination for the human race, and everything's tied into everything, and it seems like pretty much where we're at.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. It's great. Look, the movie's super entertaining. I had never seen an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie before. I really didn't know what to expect with him as an actor, and really, he's not in the movie a ton, but to me, he obviously steals the show. The most compelling scene in the movie is not any of the action sequences. It's not the dialogue. It's the scene in which he has to sort of reconstruct his body, and he takes his arm apart, and you can see the wires in the arm, and he takes his eye out. That sort of stuff. I mean, this is a movie that's 40 years old, and I feel like the special effects hold up really, really well in that regard. The thing that does not hold up in this movie is the sex scene.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
That's where John Connor, or as our listener said, Jesus is conceived.
That scene is nasty.
I don't have a visual in my head because I've seen it 100 times. I mean, I remember the scene.
It's the most aggressive, open mouth, licking face kiss scene you've ever seen. The actual physical act of humping on the mattress is now it's gross. It's unnecessary. And I'm a guy that enjoys when two people go at it on screen, okay? And no, I think famously I am. The problem is this scene is gross and it's unnecessary. I understand that at some point this guy who came from the future to go back to the past, who's going to warn Sarah Connor that she's going to have a son named John Connor who's going to save the world. I understand just from his introduction that, hey, he's probably going to be the dad, even if it doesn't make a ton of sense. I could put that together. I did not need to see them hump in this movie. It's a complete distraction from the fact that they're being chased by an AI robot.
Yes, but the thing is, she finally sees in that moment him and his struggle and all the stuff he's been talking about, and everybody ignored him the whole movie.
Well, I feel like him because everybody's saying he's crazy. He's not crazy.
Well, he's not crazy, but she finally sees through the light and then sees, and that's why that sex scene had to be as physical as it was.
Everybody this weekend, go back and watch Terminator.
Because I don't remember. Maybe my parents made me leave the room or something. I don't remember that at all.
And they should have. And Kenzie, you have great parents. This scene is foul. The way they kiss each other. It is so off-putting, and I love watching people kiss each other typically.
Yeah. The thing is, again, with this scene, they probably thought the movie needed, like in the 80s, a movie like that. We got to have a sex scene somewhere.
Hey, guys, we got to. Come on.
Because I was just going to say, why is there a sex scene? It's so unneeded.
But because we can put those pieces together, it was completely unnecessary.
Yes.
If you didn't see Michael Bain, Reese, I should say, if you didn't see him really conceive John Connor, I really needed to see the evidence of all of it to make sure, okay, he is the dad of John Connor.
There's nothing romantic about it. It is a gnarly kiss. I really did not like that.
What'd you think of the most famous line in movie history, I'll be back scene?
You know what's great about that is that it actually lived up to the hype. When we did the movie with Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner, Dirty Dancing? We did Dirty Dancing about a year ago, and I was so disappointed because Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner has been Mandela affected. That line in the movie, one, is not like this big dramatic buildup, and two, Patrick Swayze sort of mumbles it. He's like, nobody puts baby in the corner.
Wait, slow down. Give me your Patrick Swayze impersonation.
Hey, nobody puts baby in the corner.
No, not even close. Don't you dare.
Kenzie, you give me yours. Impersonation.
I don't know how to impersonate Patrick. I can't be that beautiful.
I think you can.
I'm just in awe thinking about him. I just black out whenever his face comes in. I can't. He's just gorgeous and perfect.
The funny thing is Case thinks the same way about Patrick Swayze, but...
Love the guy.
He talks about him like he's on the redneck crew.
Well, in that line he is, but the nice thing is Arnold delivers the I'll be back line. It's phenomenal. I did not know that seconds after he says that, he drives a car through a police station. What a phenomenal scene that was. Again, the movie is very good. The best thing this movie does is that it sets the stage for the sequel, which I will watch next week. I cannot wait for it. Everybody heed the fears that this movie laid out. but all in all, a really compelling hour and 47 minutes of filmmaking.
So T2, a groundbreaking film next week, next Friday at 8 o'clock. So how many, I guess you're going to rate this in Terminators? Or what were you going to do for this?
I can rate it in Terminator.
What were you going to do?
Bad sex.
Open mouth kisses.
The thing with Terminator 1 is that it is a clear 6.5 out of 10 French kisses.
That's it? 6.5?
It's a very good movie. It is not a great movie. It does everything well, but I want more, and I am prepared next week to watch T2, and hopefully I'll very much enjoy it.
All right. There you go. Coming up here in just 10 minutes, David Draymond from Disturbed on the show. He's going to give us tickets for the show at the United Center for Disturbed and new music. We're debuting, world premiering new music from Disturbed coming up here in just about 10 minutes.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.